Thank you for joining us for another interesting episode of Newsline, your one-stop shop for human interest stories, social activities, and education. I am Jennifer Igwe, your anchor tonight, standing in for your usual presenter, Becky Madujemu. Now, phobia for mathematics is, for some, even manifest as trauma. Mathematical anxiety, however, is really uncalled for and boils down to approach to the subject and how it is taught. Stay on the line to find out expert suggestions on how to make mathematics popular. And who says there is an age limit to education or achieving one's ambition? We have on our lineup a royal case study that is very inspiring. Entertainment is one of the areas that break cultural and ethnic barriers. A concert that took place in Lagos is a reflection of this and will feature tonight. Series of festivals, commercial endeavors, and history sit comfortably on a rundown. Then, importantly, health issues that mirror the need to save a life and proactively keep a tab on our health is also on the lineup. Before I end up telling all, I will pause here and hand over to Lydia Bassi in Abuja for the news segment, after which Newsline continues. Lydia, happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday to you, Jennifer. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the news. President Muhammadu Buhari has returned to Abuja after a 5-day official visit to the Republic of Turkey. Minister of Foreign Affairs Jeffrey Onyema describes the visit as a major diplomatic triumph. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu reports.
Before President Muhammadu Buhari's official visit to Turkey at the instance of the Turkish leader Recep Erdogan, there were several lingering issues that more or less complicated the relationship between Nigeria and Turkey. Prominent amongst them include the illicit arms trafficking into Nigeria through Turkey, which also has its national claiming to be government official strongly supporting IPOB and the Biafran agitation. There was also a pending request by Turkey for the closure of some Gulen schools and hospitals in Nigeria, as well as the extradition of some Turks labeled terrorists granted asylum in Nigeria as political refugees backed by the United Nations. The Foreign Affairs Minister Geoffrey Onyema believes that President Muhammadu Buhari exhibited diplomatic skillfulness in putting all these issues to rest and reaching agreement on the best way forward through more direct engagement.
He was able to really douse the tension between the two sides while not compromising on principles of Nigeria, and he did it very well with a lot of diplomatic finesse. And the result has been that, in fact, the relationship between the two countries and governments has strengthened, and the level of confidence between the two has also increased. And so it's a real diplomatic masterpiece, I think, really, by Mr. President. But the point was made, and Mr. President stressed that point, with regards to the Gulen movement, that under no circumstances would Nigeria allow itself to be a base for the destabilization of Turkey.
Conversely also, it's been very clear and agreed to that Turkish citizens, Turkish territory will never be used for any subversive activity against the sovereign state of Nigeria.
And that taken care of, President Muhammadu Buhari and the Turkish leader were able to focus on a wide range of other issues that will transform the lives of their peoples.
There is also an agreement that is going to follow on educational support for each other. There will be exchanges of students, there will be exchanges of scholars, and there will be the establishment of a new stream of schools and medical facilities by Turkish investors in Nigeria. In fact, some of their business, they want to take over Abuja airport, for instance, in terms of aviation. The thing is that we want to boost trade, and our president has pointed to the Turkish, come in early, don't miss out of this opportunity, so that we have a win-win relationship.
President Muhammadu Buhari, who also made an excellent outing at the 9th Summit of the Developing Aid, has returned to Abuja, Nigeria's capital, highly fulfilled. Accompanied by his wife Aisha, the president was received on arrival at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport by the Minister of the FCT, Muhammad Musa Bello, his Chief of Staff, Abba Kyari, and other senior government officials. In Abuja, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, before returning to Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari embarked on a guided tour of the unique cultural and historical landmarks in Istanbul, the commercial hub of Turkey. Again, State House correspondent Adamu Sambu has more.
Istanbul is a vibrant city with everything going for it. Not only is it a hub for business, finance, real estate, and cultural trends, but also home to many historical landmarks.
Your Excellency, welcome to Topkapı Palace Museum.
One of the best historical places visited by President Muhammadu Buhari, accompanied by his wife Aisha, is the Topkapı Palace, built in 1478. Covering an area of 400,000 square meters, the palace, which served as the seat of government of the Ottoman Empire for 380 years, is notable for not only its architecture and collections, but also the history and culture of the Ottomans that it recalls. The first family also visited the Blue Mosque, one of the most famous landmarks of the Turkish and the Islamic world. A highly admired structure, it is an example of classical Turkish art, and as the president and entourage entered, they were greeted by its rich and colorful ornamentations, including engravings, titles, and stained glass windows that complement the grandeur of its exterior. NTA News could not hear the president's impression on the places visited, but one thing is certain: the Nigerian leader and his wife were taken into the heart and soul of what was old Constantinople. From Istanbul, Turkey, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Thanks, Adamu. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has left Abuja on a two-day working visit to the Republic of Indonesia, during which he will address the opening plenary of the Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative Beneficial Ownership Conference taking place in Jakarta, Indonesia, from Monday 23rd October and Tuesday 24th October 2017. A statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Office of the Vice President, Laola Akonde, indicates that Vice President Osinbajo will speak on various issues to reposition the extractive industry in line with the theme of the conference: opening up ownership, sharing practice, building system. The statement further indicates that the Vice President will be hosted to a state reception by the government of Indonesia, as well as bilateral talks. He will be back in Abuja later on Tuesday. Considering abundant potentials in Nigeria, professionals have suggested the need for industrial power sector revolution that will provide opportunity to demonstrate skills that can guarantee quality and available electricity. At a fellowship conferment lecture by the Nigerian Society of Engineers in Abuja, some experts say dependence on importation of equipment and facilities are major setbacks on improved electricity supply. Correspondent Usman Aliu reports.
Nigeria's population, the resources and the skills of its people in various fields of human endeavor constitute a unique pedigree for social and economic development for the country. But a long-standing problem of electricity power has made the dream hanging. Now, professionals in engineering at this public lecture are optimistic that skills to make and develop needed infrastructure in the power sector will be the solution.
And if the country is not industrializing or heavily industrialized, then there will be no need for power. And if there's no need for power, the demand is not there, no investor will come.
You need to make turbines at the generation end, make generator transformers, make various items of equipment that you need to put together to have the system that can give you, generate power. You need also at the transmission level to be able to make those transformers.
Lack of power, lack of adequate power means that the operators will be running generators, and that has impacted so much on the cost of delivery of telecom.
We believe that the unbundling of the organization called Power Holding Company is beginning to yield a little dividend.
Nigerians are always motivated by hope on the actions and programs for improved electricity. In Abuja, Usman Aliu, NTA News.
From power to energy sector. The federal government has directed the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, to embark on an aggressive gas development program to stimulate economic growth in the country. Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Mekanti Baru, made this known at a forum in Lagos. The GMD, who doubled as the chairman of Nigerian Gas Association Advisory Board, expressed optimism that, with the present sincerity of purpose shown by industry players, gas infrastructure development is making great headway to fill the existing gaps of gas supply to boost power in the country.
I, as the pioneer chairman of this MGA Advisory Board, Help for Gas Development, I hereby dedicate myself to the aggressive development of the Nigerian gas sector and commit myself and all the members of the NGA Advisory Board to do everything possible to achieve the objectives of the board, which aligns perfectly with the NNPC's key business focus areas.
State governments have continued to embrace the federal government's diversification of the economy initiative. One good example is Ondo State, which is determined to explore the untapped, abundant natural resources available in the state to boost the economy under the initiative. After meeting investors and other stakeholders at the presidential villa, Ondo State Governor Rotimi Akeredolu says he is optimistic that the state would greatly benefit from the diversification project the state is embarking on.
We have been here. We have made progress in our discussions. What Ondo State is particular about, I mean, NNPC was able to even enlighten us the more. We were particular about being on the gas plan, and it's been made clear to us that, look, we have always been on the national gas plan, and that all that is now needed is for us to decide what we want done. We have the OKLNG, and we felt that, look, where something has to be done there. The NNPC has put a lot of effort to have that place developed, but a few part of their partnership withdrew from it, and if Ondo State is now keenly interested, we can get more of some of the investors to come and have OKLNG take off again for the purpose for which it's established, for other purposes which can be accommodated.
Governor Akeredolu said the state is also collaborating with Lagos State towards ensuring protection of oil and gas pipelines and safety on waterways. From the economy to education, the West African Examination Council WAEC has developed a software that captures continuous assessment to monitor students' progress and performance records to curb examination malpractice. Jane Ojuku reports.
International Summit on Examination Malpractices, organized by WAEC, provided a platform for stakeholders in education, including school principals, assessment agencies such as JAMB, NECO, and NAPTEP, as well as students, the opportunity to X-ray causes and effects of examination malpractices. Some of the factors identified include inadequate preparation among students, poor learning environment, lack of qualified teachers, as well as poor examination facilities. They implored the federal government and private school owners to invest in education by employing qualified teachers and making the learning environment conducive for teaching and learning. The registrar of WAEC, Dr. Iye Owadiayi, stated that WAEC has taken a drastic measure which every school must comply with, or risk not having their students registered for WASC.
Every student that will register for our exam, we have an index number. So if you are transferred, like your parents move from one state to another, and you have to move, then your continuous assessment score will move with you to your new school.
Some of the students at the summit share their views on the lesson learned.
In terms of examination malpractice, it can lead to the backwardness of our economy, number one, and even the person doing the examination malpractice can go to jail all because of that.
Participants at the summit were urged to take the solutions proffered at the summit back to their home countries and implement them to stem the tide of examination malpractices in the sub-region. In Lagos, Jane Ujuku, NTA News.
Report from Borno State says more houses have been built through donations from philanthropists for internally displaced persons in the northeast. Mohammed Goni in Maiduguri has an update on such donations.
The return of peace in hitherto terrorist-controlled communities has, based on the analysis of various assessment teams, enabled stakeholders to come to terms with the fact that no single entity has the capacity to immediately restore destroyed public and private infrastructure in affected communities, which was why corporate organizations and individuals have keyed into the humanitarian support project for the benefit of IDPs.
As the federal and the state governments continue to make concerted effort to resettle the IDPs in their various communities, individuals through their foundation believe that the task of rehabilitation and resettlement of the IDPs should not be left in the hand of the government alone, hence their intervention.
Aliko Dangote, through his foundation, has been supporting the cause of IDPs in the northeast with provision of food and non-food items, as well as cash support to cater for the IDPs. The philanthropist also donated 2 billion naira towards the reconstruction and resettlement process. Borno State government has requested Dangote Foundation that building materials be provided instead of cash and has since commenced construction of Dangote village to settle IDPs who have no homes to return to. Recently, another philanthropist, Dr. Mohamed Indimi, through his foundation, also embarked on construction of 100 units of 3-bedroom houses in Bama, a community was hit by insurgency.
I'm all out to do it. I'm begging for other businessmen from Borno to come out to help. We know they have the money.
The foundation will, in addition, build another 100 units of 3-bedroom houses in Gala local government as soon as the project in Bama is completed.
A lot of numerals who contributed in different level, but the major one of Dangote and Indimi.
These two philanthropists have, according to beneficiaries, set the ball rolling for more individual and corporate organizations to key in towards the cause of IDPs. In Maiduguri, Mahmoud Goni, NTA News.
Leading figures in the television and film industry, digital media, advertising and brand sector are networking and doing business to discover future trends and cement partnership on a global level. Gufan Shadi reports that the Nigerian broadcast programmers are connecting at the international programs market in the French town of Cannes.
The content market is in the midst of a global race for creative connections, global opportunities to unite the best partners and deliver to the next generation best content. The International Programs Market, MIPCOM, is an annual event geared towards the television studios and broadcasters who use the event as a marketplace to buy and sell new programs and formats for international distribution. Representative of the Director General of the NTA, Executive Director, Programs, Wale Koka, who led the delegation to the conference in France, stated that with the digital switchover on the front burner, the quest for content remains key in boosting the Nigerian broadcast industry.
NTA, as the largest television network in Africa, we are more or less Afrocentric. We want to promote what is ours.
We are glad that almost 99% of those that came to us have a fair knowledge of what NTA is about.
Nigeria, football is amazing and people do like football, so I was thinking right straight away we must do a show over there.
The Director General of the National Broadcasting Commission, Modibo Kau, reiterated that Nigeria is the hub of content on the African continent.
We would need a lot of content in Nigeria, and this fits the frame of
the thinking of President Muhammadu Buhari that a digital revolution should offer a platform for the creation of new jobs in Nigeria.
There's so much enthusiasm about reaching out to Nigeria, and we need to take it further than here.
The event will also feature keynote interactions and seal international distribution deals for 4 days of meetings, screenings, and conferences. From the French town of Cannes, I am Gufan Shaji, NTA News.
Thanks, Gufan. From France, we'll now go to China. African journalists covering the 19th National Congress of the Communist Party of China are asking African political and business leaders to maximize every available opportunity in ensuring that relations between their countries and China are mutually beneficial. They spoke with NTA correspondent Makut Simon Macham as they continue their visit in China.
African journalists were invited to cover the 19th Congress of the Communist Party of China as part of enhancing the growing relationship with the African continent. Apart from covering the Congress and associated activities, the journalists visited some organizations such as StarTimes headquarters in Beijing. The organization noted Nigeria's progress on digitization and assured the journalists that it was ready to continue partnering with the country as it leads the process in Africa.
So in the past, all of our raw materials in Africa were exported out of Africa, right? And we weren't exporting finished materials. So I think the test is going to be whether China can assist Africa in becoming a manufacturer of finished products.
For now, the relationship is tilted towards China a lot. But, you won't blame China for that. It's that we need to get our acts together so that we can add value to whatever we have and, send to China too.
We should not make the mistake that we've made with other colonial masters. I'm not saying that China is a colonial master though, but he's coming in as a developed country if we compare to the African continent.
Now, having covered the 19th National Congress of the Communist Party here in China, African journalists believe that the continent needs to negotiate well in order to get the best out of its relationship with China. From Beijing in China, I am Makut Simon Macham, NTA News.
And back home, promoting peaceful coexistence among the diverse groups in Nigeria is a task for all. Dr. Paddy Njoku, an educationist and public affairs analyst, is one man that is at the front line of this cause, and the Oduduwa Youth Congress found him worthy for an exceptional recognition. Abdullahi Suleiman Iyaji reports.
Though many have expressed concern over the state of the nation, the Oduduwa Youth Congress, a group committed to peaceful coexistence, decided to recognize the effort of an exceptionally decentralized Nigerian and president of the International Institute of Leadership and Governance, Dr. Paddy Njoku.
We felt, who can we look up to as youths to lead us right? And we saw in him someone who believes in this national cohesion, someone who believes in societal development.
He's one Nigerian that so believed in the project Nigeria.
Even though you have given him this honor today, if you go contrary to the rules of this nation, the constitution, or you go astray, he can tell you to come and take back your certificate. He will tell you right away.
From far away Lagos State, they came to honor him with the title of Asiwaju Awaodo for his immense contributions to Nigeria's development.
As I have always said, to use the force of argument and not the argument of force to arrive at consensus.
Others urged the celebrant, who hails from Imbise, Imo State, to appreciate the honor done him as a call to greater service to the fatherland. In Abuja, Abdullahi Suleiman Yaji, NTA News.
And now health matters. Shortage of functional cancer control plans in developing countries, which account for more than 2/3 of new cancer cases and deaths yearly, is one of areas militating the fight against cancer. This was made known at the 2017 Medic Aid Cancer Foundation's annual work in Abuja. Oyinaya Kaloka reports.
Statistics from WHO revealed that Nigeria has the highest death rate of cancer in Africa, with about 10,000 cases reported annually. This work is to remember those who have lost their lives, salute survivors, and also to create awareness and raise funds. Worried by this increasing trend, founder of the foundation and wife of Kebbi State Governor, Dr. Zainab Shinkafi Bagudu led other dignitaries on a walk that kicked off from Medic Aid headquarters in Wuse 2.
These women die because most of the time, 95% of the time, the cases are detected late. We want to improve on awareness. We want to rid our people of their beliefs that are holding them back.
And we are saying early detection is important and it's curable.
Governor of Kebbi State, Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, said there is a need for Nigerians to be consistently enlightened on what causes the condition, preventative measures, and available treatment options.
And we'll continue to do better and mobilize more so that we can prevent and in the unfortunate incidents.
One of the cancer survivors, Folake Olabisi Ajibola, has a positive message to share.
There's hope. I was at stage 2. There's hope. The key is to check.
As part of activities to mark the Cancer Week, novelty matches were played by different themes, featuring past Super Eagles players and some state governors' wives. Oyinaya Kaluoka, NTA News.
And now sports. 18th Ladies Golf Championship ends in Abuja as Spain and Brazil cruise into the semi-finals of 2017 FIFA Under-17 World Cup in India. Ayodeji Makinde has more on Sports Update.
Handicap 13 player Grace Ihofbere netted 145 over 36 holes to emerge overall winner of the 18th edition of the IBB Ladies Closed Championship over the weekend at the IBB International Golf and Country Club, Abuja. Ihofbere, who is also the lady captain of the club, scored 69 in the final round of the two-day tournament, while Handicap 9 player Amina Wilfred, with a score of 175, claimed the Best Gross Award, as Rachel Danjuma netted 152 to clinch the Ladies Division 1 of Handicap 0 to 18 prize.
I really want ladies, especially the young ladies, young girls, to take up this game because you need to start early.
European champions Spain set up a showdown with Mali in the semi-final stage of the ongoing FIFA Under-17 World Cup in India following a 3-1 victory over Iran in the last 8 on Sunday. Adel Ruiz, Sergio Gomez and Ferran gave La Rojita a 3-0 advantage before Saeed Karim scored a consolation for Iran. In the last quarter-final match, Brazil completed a second-half turnaround to beat Germany 2-1 in Kolkata. Jan Fiat-Arp scored his 5th goal of the tournament for Germany, but substitute Werversen leveled scores in the 71st minute before Paulinho scored the winner to set up a last-4 encounter with England. In tennis, Wimbledon champion Gabinier Muguruza kept her hopes of reclaiming the world #1 ranking alive with a 6-3, 6-4 victory over French Open winner Yelena Ostapenko on day 1 of the WTA finals in Singapore. In the other match of the white group, world #3 Caroline Pliskova beats Venus Williams 6-2, 6-2 as attention turns to the red group Monday. With Sports Update, Ayodeji Makinde, NTA News.
Next is a look at tomorrow's weather prospects.
You're welcome to the weather forecast. I am Onyilo Desmond. It's been very dry over the central region for some time now, and you will agree with me that it's getting hot, humid, with general physiological discomfort over this region within the last 3 days. We also see low clouds appearing in 1 or 2 areas around this region, and all these are a pointer to moisture buildup over this area, which will translate into a few thunderstorms come Monday. Parts of the Federal Capital Territory, Niger and Nasarawa, down to Kogi, Benue State, may witness some of these thunderstorm activities, which will come by late Monday evening. There are also chances of a few low clouds appearing in the southern parts of Kaduna and parts of Plateau State. The coast and the inland areas of the south should also witness evening thunderstorm activities, while the extreme north should stay sunny and dry.